The camera pans across a tense courtroom, sunlight filtering through dusty windows. A young girl, barely 18, stands at the defendant's table, her eyes sharp but nervous. This is Aisha, a black teenager, facing a smug cop, Officer Daniels, who's testifying against her. He chuckles, whispering to his partner, "This kid's done for." The judge, stern and impatient, bangs the gavel. Aisha's charged with a minor offense, but Daniels paints her as a criminal mastermind. The crowd murmurs, prejudice hangs heavy in the air. Aisha's hands tremble, but her gaze is unbreakable. She's not just a teen, she's a prodigy, hiding a secret. Daniels' laughter echoes, underestimating her. The prosecutor smirks, thinking this is an easy win. But Aisha's been preparing, studying law in secret, fueled by years of injustice. Her mother, in the back, wipes a tear, knowing her daughter's brilliance. The judge demands Aisha's defense. She steps forward, no lawyer by her side. Gasps ripple through the room. Daniel scoffs, "What's this kid gonna do, cry?" Aisha takes a deep breath, her voice steady. "Your Honor, I'll represent myself." The crowd erupts in whispers. Daniel's grin fades slightly. Aisha pulls out a worn notebook, pages filled with legal notes she's memorized. She's not just fighting for herself, she's fighting a system. The camera zooms on her determined face, then cuts to Daniels, his confidence cracking. This isn't just a trial, it's a battle for justice. Aisha's first words hit like a thunderbolt, setting the stage for her genius to shine. What happens next will leave everyone stunned. The courtroom falls silent as Aisha begins. Her voice, clear and confident, slices through the tension. "Your Honor, Officer Daniels' testimony is riddled with inconsistencies." She flips open her notebook, revealing meticulous notes. The judge leans forward, intrigued. Daniels shifts uncomfortably, his smirk fading. Aisha cites a case law, Miranda v. Arizona, with precision, arguing her rights were violated during the arrest. The prosecutor objects, she's no lawyer, but the judge allows her to continue. Aisha's words flow like a seasoned attorney, dissecting Daniels' report. She points out timestamps that don't align, exposing his rushed, biased account. Flashbacks show Aisha studying late nights in her tiny apartment, law books borrowed from a library, her mother's encouragement fueling her. Daniel's partner nudges him, whispering, "She's good." The cop's face hardens, he didn't expect this. Aisha's eyes lock onto Daniel's, her stare piercing. "Officer, you claimed I resisted arrest. Where's the body cam footage?" The room buzzes. Daniels stammers, unprepared. Aisha presses on, citing legal precedents, her voice rising with passion. "This isn't just about me, it's about every kid you've profiled." The crowd murmurs, some nodding. Her mother clutches a pendant, praying. The prosecutor scrambles, but Aisha's logic is airtight. She's not just defending herself, she's exposing a pattern of Daniel's misconduct. The camera catches his sweat, his confidence crumbling. Aisha's genius shines, but she's just begun. The judge, now fully engaged, asks for evidence. Aisha pulls a USB drive from her pocket, a sly smile breaking through. "Your Honor, I have proof." The room gasps, "What's on that drive?" Daniel's eyes widen, sensing trouble. Aisha's ready to turn the tables, and the truth is about to explode. Aisha holds the USB drive aloft, its weight heavier than gold. The courtroom hums with anticipation. "Your Honor, this contains Officer Daniels' body cam footage, obtained legally through a public records request." The prosecutor leaps up, objecting, but the judge, now captivated, overrules. Aisha's calm demeanor hides her racing heart. She's been planning this for weeks, knowing one misstep could ruin her. The bailiff sets up a screen, and the footage plays. Grainy visuals show Daniels arresting Aisha, his tone dripping with disdain. "You're just another troublemaker, he sneers on tape, shoving her roughly. The crowd gasps, his actions contradict his testimony. Aisha narrates, pointing out violations of protocol. No Miranda rights read, excessive force used. Daniel's face pales, he didn't know the footage existed. Flashbacks reveal Aisha's late-night hustle, combing through legal forums online, learning how to file requests. Her mother's voice echoes in her mind, "You're stronger than their hate." Aisha's questions cut deeper. "Officer, why did you turn off your camera after 2 minutes?" Daniels mumbles, "Trapped." The judge's eyes narrow, sensing deception. Aisha pivots, presenting a second piece of evidence, a witness statement from a shopkeeper who saw the arrest. "Mr. Patel confirms I complied fully," she says, handing over a signed affidavit. The prosecutor's confidence cracks, he wasn't ready for this. Aisha's genius lies not just in her knowledge but her preparation. The crowd whispers, some inspired, others stunned. Daniel's partner avoids his gaze, ashamed. Aisha's mother smiles, pride swelling. The judge calls a recess to review the evidence, but Aisha's not done. She's building a case that could change everything. What's her next move? The courtroom waits, electrified, the courtroom reconvenes, tension crackling like static. Aisha stands tall, her eyes locked on Officer Daniels, who's now visibly rattled. The judge nods for her to proceed. "Officer Daniels, let's revisit your report," Aisha says, her voice steady but sharp. She holds up a printed copy, highlighting discrepancies. "You claimed I was aggressive, yet the footage shows otherwise. Care to explain?" Daniels fidgets, muttering about a misunderstanding. Aisha doesn't let up. She cross-examines like a veteran, citing Brady versus Maryland, demanding withheld evidence. The prosecutor objects, but Aisha counters, "Transparency is my right." The judge agrees. Flashbacks show Aisha practicing this moment in her cramped bedroom, memorizing legal terms under a flickering lamp. Her mother's words echo, "Speak truth, Aisha." She grills Daniels on his history, 3 complaints of racial profiling, all dismissed. "Is this a pattern, officer?" she asks, voice rising. The crowd stirs, sensing her momentum. Daniel's responses falter, he's cornered. Aisha introduces a surprise witness, Mr. Patel, the shopkeeper. He testifies, Aisha was calm, respectful. The officer was hostile. The room buzzes, Daniel's credibility crumbles. Aisha's notebook, her weapon, brims with research from legal blogs and case studies. She's not just fighting for herself but for every kid targeted unfairly. The prosecutor tries to redirect, but Aisha's prepared, countering with facts. Daniel's smirk is gone, replaced by panic. The judge takes notes, impressed. Aisha's mother grips her pendant, hope rising. The camera zooms on Aisha's face, calm, fierce, unstoppable. She's turned the trial into a reckoning. As she sits, the crowd whispers in awe. What's next? Aisha's building toward a bombshell, and Daniels knows he's in deep trouble. The courtroom pulses with energy as Aisha prepares her next move. The judge's eyes follow her every step, sensing something extraordinary. Aisha pulls out a stack of documents, her research from months of digging into Daniels' past. "Your Honor, I present evidence of Officer Daniels' misconduct in prior cases," she declares, handing over certified records. The papers detail 2 unreported incidents where Daniels targeted young minorities, uncovered through Aisha's relentless public records requests. The prosecutor objects, calling it irrelevant, but Aisha cites Giglio versus United States, arguing Daniels' credibility is central. The judge allows it. The crowd leans forward, riveted. Flashbacks show Aisha at the library, sifting through archives, her determination fueled by memories of her brother, once wrongfully arrested. Daniel's face reddens, he's unraveling. Aisha's voice rises, "Officer, why did you falsify reports in 2023 and 2024? The question lands like a grenade. Daniel stammers, claiming clerical errors, but Aisha counters with specifics, quoting his own words from past depositions. The room erupts in murmurs. Her mother's eyes shine with pride, knowing Aisha's brilliance is shining through. The prosecutor tries to pivot, but Aisha's prepared, presenting a timeline of Daniel's actions, meticulously charted in her notebook. The camera catches the judge's nod, impressed by her precision. Daniel's partner shifts away, distancing himself. Aisha's not just winning a case, she's exposing a broken system. She closes with a powerful statement: this isn't about one arrest, it's about justice denied too long. The crowd's whispers grow louder, some clapping softly. The judge calls for a brief pause, but Aisha's momentum is unstoppable. Daniels knows the tide has turned. What will her next revelation bring? The courtroom buzzes as the recess ends. The prosecutor, now sweating, knows Aisha's revelations have shifted the narrative. He rises, attempting to regain control. Your Honor, this teenager's theatrics don't change the facts, he sneers, painting Aisha as a delinquent manipulating the court. He introduces a witness, Officer Daniel's partner, Officer Reed, to corroborate the arrest story. Reed takes the stand, nervous, avoiding Aisha's gaze. He claims Aisha was uncooperative, but his voice wavers. Aisha, unfazed, prepares her counterattack. Flashbacks show her studying cross-examination techniques on YouTube, practicing in front of a mirror. She stands, notebook in hand, and begins. Officer Reed, you signed off on Daniel's report, correct? He nods. Yet you didn't mention my alleged resistance in your own statement. Why? Reed fumbles, caught off guard. Aisha presses, citing Crawford versus Washington, challenging the reliability of hearsay. The crowd murmurs, impressed by her legal acumen. She projects the body cam footage again, pausing at a frame where Reed looks away during Daniel's aggression. Were you complicit, officer? Aisha asks sharply. Reed stammers, credibility crumbling. The prosecutor's face tightens, he's losing ground. Aisha's mother grips her seat, whispering prayers. The camera zooms on Daniels, his arrogance replaced by dread. Aisha introduces a new document, an email from Reed to a superior, questioning Daniel's methods, obtained through her records request. The judge's eyebrows rise. This suggests doubt in your partner's actions, Aisha says, her voice steady. The crowd gasps, her preparation is relentless. The prosecutor tries to redirect, but Aisha's evidence is airtight. She's not just defending herself, she's dismantling their case. The judge calls for another witness, but Aisha's ready to strike again. The courtroom hums with anticipation as Aisha shifts gears. She's dismantled Daniel's credibility, but now she humanizes her fight. Your Honor, this case isn't just about me, she begins, her voice steady yet emotional. She describes growing up in a neighborhood where profiling is routine, her brother's wrongful arrest haunting her. I studied law to fight back, she says, holding up her worn notebook, a symbol of her grit. The crowd leans in, some wiping tears. Flashbacks show Aisha at 15, reading law books by flashlight, her mother working double shifts to support her. Aisha's eyes meet Daniel's, unwavering. Officer, you laughed at me, but I'm here for every kid you've targeted. The judge listens intently, moved by her passion. The prosecutor objects, calling it irrelevant, but Aisha cites Batson versus Kentucky, arguing systemic bias is central to her defense. She presents data, publicly available police reports showing disproportionate arrests of minorities in her town. Her research, gathered from city archives, stuns the room. Daniel shifts, his earlier smugness gone. Aisha's mother nods, her pride palpable. The camera catches a juror wiping her eyes, connecting with Aisha's story. I'm no criminal, Aisha says, voice breaking. I'm a student, a daughter, a fighter. She introduces a character witness, her teacher, Mrs. Carter, who testifies to Aisha's brilliance and integrity. The prosecutor tries to discredit Carter, but Aisha counters with a letter from a local law professor praising her potential. The crowd murmurs, inspired. Aisha's not just winning the case, she's winning hearts. The judge calls for the prosecution's response, but their confidence is shaken. Aisha's blend of logic and emotion has turned the tide. What's her next move? The prosecutor, cornered, launches a desperate offensive. Your Honor, Aisha's story is compelling, but she's deflecting from her actions, he argues, painting her as a troublemaker who resisted arrest. He calls a final witness, a bystander, to claim Aisha was aggressive. The witness, Mr. Hayes, takes the stand, nervously glancing at Daniels. His testimony feels rehearsed, describing Aisha shouting at officers. The crowd shifts, some doubting her. Aisha, unshaken, prepares her rebuttal. Flashbacks show her analyzing witness statements late at night, cross-referencing them with legal texts. She rises, notebook in hand, and begins her cross-examination. Mr. Hayes, you said I shouted, but where were you standing? He hesitates, admitting he was across the street. Aisha pounces, citing Chambers v. Mississippi, questioning his reliability due to distance and bias. She projects a photo from the scene, obtained via a FOIA request, showing Hayes partially blocked by a crowd. Could you really see clearly? She asks. Hayes stumbles, credibility faltering. The prosecutor's face tightens, he's running out of moves. Aisha introduces a contradicting statement from another bystander, Mrs. Lee, who confirms Aisha was calm. The crowd buzzes, sensing the prosecution's case unraveling. Daniel's eyes dart to the exit, his bravado gone. Aisha's mother whispers a prayer, her faith unshaken. The camera zooms on Aisha's steady hands, flipping through her notebook. She's anticipated every angle, her preparation relentless. The judge, visibly impressed, asks the prosecutor for evidence to counter Aisha's claims. He fumbles, offering weak objections. Aisha's genius shines, she's not just defending herself but exposing a flawed system. The courtroom waits for the judge's next move, but Aisha's ready to seal her victory. The courtroom holds its breath as Aisha prepares her closing argument. The judge's eyes are fixed on her, the crowd silent. Your Honor, this case isn't just about a false charge, it's about a system that fails the vulnerable, Aisha begins, her voice resonant with conviction. She recounts Daniel's misconduct, the doctored reports, and the biased arrest, backed by her meticulously gathered evidence. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm a citizen demanding justice, she says, holding up her notebook, its pages worn from sleepless nights. Flashbacks show her drafting this speech, her mother's encouragement echoing, "Speak from the heart, Aisha." She cites Gideon versus Wainwright, emphasizing everyone's right to a fair defense. Officer Daniels laughed at me, but his actions betray the badge, she declares, pointing to the body cam footage and witness contradictions. The crowd nods, some in tears. Aisha's mother clutches her pendant, pride swelling. Daniels stares at the floor, defeated. Aisha pivots to the bigger picture, this trial is for every kid judged by their skin, not their character. She presents a statistic, her town's arrest rates show clear racial disparities, sourced from public data. The prosecutor's objections fall flat, he's outmatched. Aisha's voice softens, I studied law to fight for truth, not just for me, but for my community. The camera captures a juror's nod, the judge's thoughtful gaze. Her closing words hit hard, justice isn't a privilege, it's a right. The room erupts in murmurs, some clapping. Aisha sits, her hands steady, her mission clear. The prosecutor's weak rebuttal barely registers. The judge retires to deliberate, but Aisha's words linger, a beacon of hope. The verdict looms, and Daniel's fate hangs in the balance, the courtroom is electric as the judge returns. Aisha stands, her heart pounding but her face calm. The crowd holds its breath. In the case of Aisha Johnson, I find the defendant not guilty, the judge declares. Cheers erupt. Daniel slumps, his arrogance shattered. The judge continues, Officer Daniel's conduct raises serious concerns. I'm recommending an investigation into his actions. Aisha's mother sobs, embracing her daughter. The camera zooms on Aisha's relieved smile, her notebook clutched tightly. Flashbacks show her journey, nights studying law, facing doubt, fueled by her brother's injustice. This is for you, she whispers, glancing skyward. The crowd rises, some clapping, others inspired. Aisha's teacher, Mrs. Carter, beams with pride. The prosecutor packs his briefcase, defeated. Aisha steps forward, addressing the room, this isn't just my victory, it's for everyone silenced by prejudice. She cites Brown versus Board, tying her fight to a legacy of justice. Reporters outside the courtroom swarm, cameras flashing. Aisha's story is already spreading, posts on X calling her a teen genius. Daniel's partner avoids him, shame evident. The judge approaches Aisha, offering rare praise, you have a future in law. Her mother hugs her, whispering, you did it. Aisha's eyes shine, she's not just free, she's sparked change. The camera pans to her notebook, now a symbol of hope. As she exits, kids from her neighborhood cheer, inspired by her courage. The screen fades with text, Aisha Johnson, 18, is now studying law, fighting for justice. Her win isn't just a verdict, it's a movement. The final frame shows Aisha walking forward, head high, ready to take on the world.